I have an existing web form here, and I'd like to set it up so that this sentence rings true in my description. You will receive a copy of your submitted form to the email address you provided us. On the form itself, we do require that they answer or provide their email address. By default, this form is set up to fill in the authenticated user's email address. So the user I'm logged in as has the email address of demo@lwvc.org. So let's figure out how to first set up that question, that form component of asking for the email, and then we could proceed to generating the email. So starting out, going to the web form tab, that expands the additional 4 tabs here, and by default, we are brought to the form components tab. On my list here, I have the question of email, and it does specifically need to be the type email. We'll set up a new question. This time it'll be secondary email. And again, make sure that the type is selected as email. If you are going to be sending out an email that you'd like everyone to receive, you want to make that a required form component. Go ahead and add that. The label is what we just filled out, and the form key is taken by default from that. The default value here, we can check this box if we'd like the user email to be filled in as the default. So whoever is logged in will see their own email in the default value. Going down to the validation, this is another place where you can require this form component to be filled out. But I'm going to go ahead and save this as is. All I wanted to do was provide the label, make it required, and set it up with the user email as default. So I can go ahead and save this component. So now I have a second question asking for the email. So I could send 2 different emails, but let's go ahead to the emails tab. Now that we are asking for an email address to be provided, we have the option to send that to email or secondary email. And depending on how your form is set up, you may have different messages contained within the email, or you might have different sender addresses. So let's just use the first email form component and add. Again, when we choose a component, this is being dictated by the person submitting the form. So if I submit the form and I enter demo@lwvc.org, then I will receive an email at demo@lwvc.org of my responses. The email from subject is always form submission from, and then the title of your web form. And then the email from address by default is support@lwvc.org. Both of these are customizable, and we do recommend, if you expect responses back, to use one of your own league addresses. And then the email template can be customized as well. The information presented here is any information about the logged in user and then their submissions. All the changes that you make, be sure to save email settings down at the very bottom. Oh, and I accidentally swapped that there, so save email settings.